So apparently, this ex-soldier, Mark Neese, earned $700,000 coaching League of Legends gamers. So this retired soldier is making a mint teaching pretend warriors how to fight on their computers. Mark Neese, an ex-Army intelligence sergeant, coaches people on how to play the video game League of Legends, the most popular game played on a competitive level around the world. Now, while esports are gaining traction, even being eyed as an Olympic event, the pool of coaches is still small, and the 33-year-old Virginian has seized the opportunity. He estimates he earned $700,000 last year. I'm one of the first video game coaches, so I don't really have to fight to retain clients, as silly as that sounds, said Neese, who served a tour in Afghanistan during a 4-year military career. If a fitness trainer heard that, they'd be like, that's amazing because that's such a competitive industry, and everybody on Instagram is a fitness influencer these days. Charging $250 to $300 for 90-minute online sessions, Nice trains more than 1,000 clients a year, including 49ers defensive tackle Kalia Davis, Glassdoor founder Robert Holman, and popular YouTuber and world-class gamer Richard Blevins, also known as Ninja. So Nice became obsessed with gaming back in the days of dial-up internet access when his father let him play Command and Conquer, a military strategy game. He eventually got so good, no one bothered to even try beating him. During high school, Nice snuck into a Halo 2 contest at the University of Maine, acting as the team's ringer. They stomped the competition and took first place, but Nice was unable to collect his $100 prize when the judges discovered he wasn't actually a student there. That was the aha moment for me. To even have an opportunity to win something from gaming, he said, I started thinking, there's got to be something more I can do with this. And here's the thing, what people need to understand, if you stumble upon this, you might be thinking like this is crazy. Why would someone end up like, spending hundreds of dollars to be coached by this guy and all that kind of stuff, right? The thing that people need to understand, if you want to get really good at something, you tend to look for someone who's better at it than you. And it might sound crazy to be spending hundreds of dollars to be coached to play a video game, but some of these people who are playing these games, like League of Legends, are making hundreds, if not millions of dollars a year, potentially, right? So if they're able to literally get their skills good enough to maybe even get onto a team, like a pro team, whoa, like that's crazy. Or if they get their skills like good enough to where they are remotely good, but are good enough to basically do unique things to separate them from the rest of the crowd, so that if they were to create content or whatever, they would actually end up creating some sort of fan base. They could end up making a lot of money from that as well. So something to really understand, like really think about is like, hey, like it might cost some money up front, but some of the people that might be paying him could potentially make a really good return on investment. So in 2010, at 21 years old, he enlisted in the U.S. Army, serving in the 3rd Stryker Brigade, 2nd Infantry Division. His job mirrored the games he played, combing over massive amounts of data and preparing combat soldiers on how to best carry out their mission, only with much more at stake. Though he never saw combat, his work directly affected the lives of his fellow soldiers. While I was employed, there was a lot of sleep, a lot of stress, and there was always that feeling of responsibility. Was I doing enough for these guys to make the right decisions on the battlefield, he said. Nace's journey to become a successful gaming coach was a 10-year slog full of financial hard times. Long hours making YouTube content and humility, especially when he and his wife had to move in with their parents. He felt like the dude in a fledgling garage band who should have abandoned dreams of making it big years ago. Even my own parents were like, when are you going to get a real job? He said. His wife encouraged him to start his own website where he initially charged $100 for a coaching session and he quickly took off. Over time, and with a constant flow of clients, he was able to triple his prices. And he said he wouldn't fully recommend people follow in his footsteps. I put all my chips in the middle of this thing and it worked, but it very easily couldn't have, he said. And that's the thing, that is like a smart way to look at it. But also, he's making really good money right now, but he really needs to manage the money in a way to where it's not really going to be a big deal if he doesn't get the exact same amount of clients as he did before. Or if he were to get like, half of the clients that he did before the previous year. So is there any comments on this? Okay, yeah. So he's earned and deserves all the success he's having right now. 10 years on a single game isn't easy, let alone coaching people for it. This guy is delusional. MLG was at full throttle with tournaments across the country with dedicated coaches while he was enlisting in the military. My son had coaches long before he finished his tour. The New York Post should be fact checking. You must not have read the article because this isn't about being a coach for professional players. It's about being a coach for regular people who want to improve on the game. There were not coaches like that, let alone successful ones teaching normal players how to be better. Everyone who actually plays competitive games knows there were coaches on for pro and semi pro teams. This article isn't talking about coaching pro or even semi pro players. And this is the thing, right? It's like, this is basically just showing that you can make really good money in pretty like weird niches as long as you can help someone with what they need help with, right? So, for example, let's just say that you are able to build up a following of 1,000, 2,000 people, and you are specifically in losing weight in a very basically specific way, right? As in, like, helping people lose weight when they can only work out at home. So basically, just at home workouts, right? Like, they can only do things at home because maybe with their lifestyle, that's where they spend like the majority of their time is at home and they don't have any access to a gym or services or whatever, right? And you have that very specific niche. It kind of goes to show you that you could potentially make a really good living in that very specific niche as long as you can end up helping people in that category. So I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, it kind of goes to show you that there are ways to make really good money in the gaming industry without you having to be actually like a pro gamer. You could end up basically making money, getting involved in something by just simply providing a service to solve a problem that people have in that gaming category.